Good morning, and welcome back to Simple Truth. Good morning. Are you fully persuaded in your own mind? Are you fully persuaded? Let me find my scriptures really quick. Are you fully persuaded? Are you fully persuaded in your own mind? Do you know what you believe? Do you know beyond a shadow of a doubt what you believe? And what brought me to this is so many times in this day and time, I see people being persuaded. It's almost like an art to it, in that, for an example, somebody asks, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? And the reply can be, no, I don't want to. And so instead of it ending right there, that person will ask again, and sometimes again and again, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? And the reply is still, no, I don't want to do that, or I don't want this, or I don't want that. And that person does not stop. They continue to persuade you to change your mind. They want your response to be different. So they become persistent when it looks like you're going to stand your ground. And then they'll go as far as trying to give you reasons why you should, or reasons why it's okay. And so it's kind of like, really, on the outside looking in, it looks like the same process as bullying, because that person is really trying to get you to do something that you don't want to do. And I see that so many times, is when a person asks another person, do you want this? Do you want that? And the answer could be no. Good morning, minister. The answer could be no, but that person does not accept no. So what they do is they keep going on to try to persuade you. Good morning, Bishop. They try to persuade you to change your mind. And so a lot of times what I see is, in that process, and I'm sure it's for different reasons, that person finally says, well, okay. Or they don't say okay, but they pretty much give in to the other person. Now, because I seem like I see it so much now, it frustrates me. Because number one is, if you ask a person if they want to do this or they want to do that, or if they want to, and a lot of times on TV, even on TV, you'll see, especially on these reality shows, somebody will say, take a drink. Go ahead and take a drink. And that person may say, no, I don't want to. No, go ahead. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Go ahead and take a drink. And it gets to the point where they're shoving it almost in their mouth. I mean, literally shoving it in their mouth. So they are refusing to accept the answer no. And they keep on and on and on until that person gives in and takes the drink. And then not only that, is once that person takes the drink, they have another one, have another one, have another. I'm telling you, pay attention to that. You see that on a lot of these reality shows. You see it in movies, but you see it in real life. And I think the thing that aggravates me the most about it is when a person tells you no, why not accept that and go on? If I tell you no, that should be it. Why are you spending all this time trying to convince me to change my mind instead of accepting what I've said? That irritates me to no end. And I see it all the time. And it frustrates me when people just easily give in. So really, what are you giving into? Sometimes you be giving into, you may have something internally going on. And that's what I say about, we have all these private things going on that a lot of people don't know about, even the people that may be the closest to us. We have so many private things going on that, example, it seems to work better with examples. Say like, I'm a closet alcoholic. So when I get around my friends, I already know that they're going to keep on and on and on about me taking a drink, take a drink, take a drink. I know that they're going to be going on and on with it. So really, what I should do is not go out and be around that. But because we adhere to peer pressure so many times, you got that person even on the phone. Come on, you don't ever go out. It's been a long time since we got together. All these different reasons that really kind of make sense. But you know yourself, and you already know that that's something you really shouldn't do. But then you give in. You give in. So what you do is you end up going out in that same process that got you there, because nobody would accept no as your answer. You're not only there, but now it's beginning to escalate. Now you are faced with the demon that really should have kept you home in the first place. So this thing goes on and on and on. It just goes on and on and on. So then you get, it's all this, come on, take a drink, we used to have fun. And then you start talking about the good old days and what we used to do, but as Christians, that's our past. That's our past. And so we don't want to go back. And we may glance in it for a minute, but we want to keep moving forward. And you have to remind yourself of that. We have got to keep moving forward. We don't want to keep looking back. We don't want to dwell on the past, but we're looking forward. We are the new man now. We are new creatures in Christ. So we don't want to continue to look back. No, every now and then we need to be reminded of our past, but not to live in our past. But we got to move forward. We have to live in the now. And so when you know yourself, you have to make decisions that are good for you. Not to appease people, not to satisfy people by giving in, standing your ground. So that's why I asked today, are you fully persuaded in your own mind? Because if you are fully persuaded in your own mind, then nobody can talk you out of anything. If you made a decision about something, nobody can talk you out of it and make you change your mind, persuade you to go the other way. No one can do that. And so it's the very same concept when it comes to your faith. When it comes to your faith, it's the same concept. Are you fully persuaded in your faith? And the reason why I ask that question is because so many times we go to God and we ask God for specific things. We pray to God. Sometimes it gets to the point where we're begging God for certain things. And as we live on in life, we're still asking for those same things because they have not come to pass. Think about it. In your request, in your level of faith, are you fully persuaded? Are you fully persuaded? I say no. You're not fully persuaded because you're not really asking in faith. I heard last week somebody said, you're fully in hope. You're hoping that this thing is going to come to pass. You're hoping that God has heard your prayer and your request. You're hoping that he's going to respond to the very things that you've been asking him for. You're hoping. But hoping is not faith. We can hope about so many things, but really, when it's the hope, we're just kind of sitting back and kind of waiting for some miraculous thing to happen. And then we'll say, wow, he did answer my prayer. But real faith, fully persuaded faith, it has to be activated. You know, when you purchase a cell phone, it's not been activated yet. There is a process that you must go through in order to activate your phone so it can be used. In our faith, it has to be activated. Activation is an action word. Your faith must be activated. Example, Noah, God gave him a command, build the ark. It's going to rain for 40 days and 40 nights. Build an ark. Last week I talked about the ark of safety. Build an ark. Was Noah fully persuaded? Absolutely. Because he went to work to build that ark. And he did not stop based on what the people were saying. The people had never experienced rain. So the fact that it would rain for 40 days and 40 nights was absurd. The fact that he was going to build the ark to protect him and his family from the rain to the people, that was absurd. But because he was fully persuaded, because his faith had been activated, that he believed what God said, he got busy, he went to work, and he built the ark. And as a result, everything that went into that ark was saved. Everything that went into the ark was saved from the rain. So I guess as people began to see that it started to rain, they began to try to get in. All of a sudden, now what Noah had been saying all along, they began to see it to come to pass. A little too late, though. A little too late. The 5 wise and the 5 foolish virgins came into the room. 5 were prepared, 5 weren't. So the ones that were not prepared had to leave out. to go get oils for their lamps, while the 5 that came prepared remained in the room, remained in the ark of safety. And at a point in time, the 5 foolish were locked out. No entry. You were not prepared. You walked away and lost out. Are you fully persuaded in your own mind? Are you fully persuaded in your faith? Haven't even picked up my notes. So when it comes to your faith, one point I'd like to make is you have to look past your circumstances. Things are not always as they appear. Things are not always as they appear. And I want to read Romans 4:19. And being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body. That was in Romans 4, verse 19. Another example of being fully persuaded in your faith. There was a man called Smith Wigglesworth. You may be familiar with him, maybe not. But he was known for his faith. And I read about a story where a man had died. And this had to be back in the day when they would leave the bodies in the home. So he and his wife went to visit the family to offer up their condolences and to view the body. Well, he gets to the house. He and his wife goes into the house. So past the living area, the living room area, he goes into where the body is. This man takes this corpse out of the coffin. Now, think about that. This man takes the corpse out of the body, stands it up against the wall, and tells him to live. Let me see, is that one? Tells him to live. He takes his hand off the body slides down to the floor. But did he stop there? No. He picked that body back up. He stood it up against the wall. It said, live. I said, live. The body slides back down to the floor. Once again, he picks that body up, sets it up against the wall, and he said, I said, live. The corpse in Smith Wigglesworth comes out of that room praising God. He was fully persuaded. When he walked in there knowing, having the faith that he needed for life to come back into that man. He and the man both came out of that room praising God. Are you fully persuaded in your faith? Or are you persuaded in your own mind? So those things that you've been asking God for, stop asking until you are fully persuaded in your mind. Until your faith level is up to a point where you know that he's going to do it. That he's going to answer your request. That he's going to answer your prayer. Stop asking amiss. It doesn't matter what it is. Because if you're walking close enough with God, you shouldn't be asking for something that you don't need. Of course, he already knows what you need even before you ask. He already knows what you need. Would your level of faith qualify and put you in the Hall of Fame, the Faith Hall of Fame? By faith, Hebrews 11. By faith, verse 8, Abraham, when he was called to go up into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went. God told him to go to a far land. He didn't know where he was going. But God said, go, and he went. Does your level of faith add you to the Faith Hall of Fame? Does it? I got a whole lot of scriptures. But you got to look past your circumstances. Your circumstances can sometimes make you feel that you're not worthy for what you want to receive from God. Your circumstances can make you doubt what God is willing to do for you. But you have to trust and believe God. You have to trust and believe God. And you have to remind him of his word. But you cannot remind him of something that you don't know. Can the church say amen? You have to remind him of his word. You have to remind him of his promises that he's made to you. Stop looking at your circumstances. As I always say, when you're looking at your life, when you're looking at your circumstances, it's like pieces to a puzzle. Your circumstance may have 1,000 pieces of 1,000 puzzle pieces, but all you can see at one time may be even 100 pieces of the puzzle. But in 100 pieces of a puzzle, and the pieces are scattered throughout the entire puzzle, you cannot make heads or tails what the finishing product is going to be. You cannot tell with the 100 pieces that go in different parts of the puzzle. You cannot tell what the finished product is going to be if it's 1,000-piece puzzle. You can't tell. You can't make heads or tail of what's going on. That's why you have to learn how to trust God. And trust and believe that he knows what's best for you. And when you ask him whatever you desire, you have to be fully persuaded in your faith. If you're not fully persuaded, don't ask. You're not there yet. So it's just going to be another request that you're hoping that he hears and respond to. You probably had enough of that to last your lifetime. But I thank God that I have a blood-bought right to answer prayers. Not prayers that I'm hoping that he'll hear and respond to, but a blood-bought right to answered prayers. Are you fully persuaded in your faith? Are you even fully persuaded in your own mind? That's something you need to ask yourself. Are you fully persuaded? This is it for now, you guys. I got to go. Thank you for joining me on this morning. Continue to pray for me. Lift me up in prayer that I'll forever be obedient to the call that's on my life. I thank God for you joining me this morning. Command your morning, first of all. Command your morning. Dispatch your angels to go out before you against the day so that you're protected and so that you hear God, that you see God in what you do and what you say. And then Encourage someone's heart. So many people desire encouragement. Encourage someone's heart on this morning, on somebody's heart on today. And as you go to and from through your day, throughout the week, encourage someone's heart. Command your morning every single day. Put your angels to work. Put them to work for you. We all need the help. Put your angels to work for you. And learn to be fully persuaded in your own mind so that you become fully persuaded in your faith. Be blessed and see you guys next Wednesday morning, 6:45 for Simple Truth. Bye-bye.